A lot of people keep on saying, where's Kamala? Where's Kamala? Ever since the election, ever since she lost, she's somewhere staying on big business like she was before.
I see a lot of people asking, where's Kamala? Where is she? Why isn't she leading the fight against Donald Trump? And I need you all to take a seat, because that woman spent 107 days giving every single ounce of herself fighting for you and fighting for this country and fighting for the whole fucking world. And 90 million Americans couldn't be bothered to get off their ass and go out there and vote for her. Not only did she spend 107 days doing that, she has spent the past several decades of her life working for the American people. And you know what she was doing between the election and the inauguration? Well, she was working with Biden to put whatever safeguards they could in place to prevent some of the worst things that Donald Trump was going to do. But also, she spent that time consoling people who were coming up to her and crying on her shoulder about what had happened. And I know that because I saw it firsthand again and again and again, where people would just be sobbing on her shoulder. Do you know what kind of strength it takes to take on other people's pain that way? A lot. And if she wants to take a goddamn minute to breathe and figure out what she wants to do next, maybe make some good food and enjoy her family, then she can take all the time she wants. And if she decides that she's never ever going to come back into the public life, well, I for one would be very sad, but I will also support her till the end of time, because she has already given a goddamn enough to this country.
I'm sure you're also wondering why suddenly people are asking, where is Kamala Harris? During campaign, people mocked her, laughed at her promises, and dismissed her warnings. But now, under Trump's presidency, the economy has taken a hit. And those same people are wondering, where is Kamala? What do you guys want her to do? She's not the president. How do you want her to help you?
On day one, I will take on price gouging and bring down costs. We will ban more of those hidden fees and surprise late charges that banks and other companies use to pad their profits.
Say, MAGA morons, Trump's tariffs are going to have a major effect on your life. Like, for instance, Canada and Mexico are the major suppliers of automobiles in this country. I mean, many cars are assembled there or use parts from that country. And they say the tariffs now are going to make the prices for cars go up between $1,000 and $5,000 extra. So when you go to buy your car and you got to pay $5,000 more, how are you going to feel about, damn right, I voted for him. Trump, Trump, Trump. Trump's my man. He's your king. He's your daddy. He's your president. Good job putting him back in.
During her campaign, Kamala Harris made it clear she was going to take on price gouging from day one. She promised to crack down on big corporations that were driving up costs and taking advantage of working class Americans. She talked about eliminating hidden fees that make things like housing, banking, and internet services more expensive. She called out the bad actors who are profiting off economic instability. But instead of listening, people laughed. They said she was just talking. They said she wouldn't be able to do it. Some even mocked her as being too soft, too unprepared to lead. Instead, they voted for Trump, believing he would bring financial stability. Now, just months into Trump's presidency, those same people are asking, where is Kamala? Why isn't she fixing this?
As president, I will go after the bad actors. And I will work to pass the first ever federal ban on price gouging on food. My plan will include new penalties for opportunistic companies that exploit crises and break the rules, and we will support smaller food businesses that are trying to play by the rules and get ahead.
I'm so glad my Lord and Savior Donald Trump is finally in office. Because of that, I can now buy that $1 million mansion and car with a $20 down payment. And he said he was going to make everything really cheap, which means we'll be able to afford everything. Like, I'm just so happy, and these liberal tears are hydrating me. Get a load of this fucking bitch.
A lot of people are asking, what can I do? Well, let me just remind you, please, you have power. You have power, and no one, no situation, no circumstance can take it from you. So please stay active, whether it's attending a town hall meeting or volunteering in your community or talking with your friends, your neighbors, your relatives about what's at stake. Whether it be this attempt to again give tax cuts to the richest among us while they're trying to get rid of Medicaid. You can make a difference, so please stay active, please stay involved, and I'll see you out there.
Since Donald Trump took office, the US economy has faced significant challenges. Prices for basic necessities like food, gas, rent have skyrocketed, and people are feeling the pressure. The economy was supposed to boom under Trump, but for many everyday Americans, it feels like the very opposite. People who voted for him, believing in his promises, are now complaining about how tough things have become. Inflation may have come down slightly, but wages are not keeping up with rising costs. Businesses are shutting down, and many Americans are struggling to make ends meet. The same people who dismissed Kamala Harris' plans to reduce the cost of living and fight corporation greed are now realizing that they might have made a mistake. They didn't believe her when she warned about price gouging, hidden fees, and economic exploitation, but now they want her to fix it. This situation highlights a major issue: voting based on emotions instead of policies. Many people voted for Trump not because they believed in his economic plans, but because they didn't like Kamala. Some let media narratives shape their opinions instead of looking at actual policies. Harris was very clear about what she wanted to do. She laid out detailed economic plans, but people dismissed them without taking the time to understand their impact. Now, when they are feeling the economic pain, they are suddenly wishing they had chosen differently. This should serve as a wake-up call. When voting, it's important to put aside personal biases and look at what's actually being offered.
We have some big news right now. Former Vice President Kamala Harris is now seriously taking a look at possibly running for governor of California and has told close allies, according to Politico, that she is staying in this fight. She gave a definitive answer to folks around her of when she will make a decision by the end of the summer. Now remember, California's gubernatorial elections are not until 2026, but the primary is definitely sooner than November of 2026, and current Governor Gavin Newsom cannot run again. He is term limited. He's also likely to run for president. But right now, Vice President Harris is really making the decision whether to run for president again in 2028 or run for governor of California in 2026 and lead the largest state in the nation. Should she run, polling suggests that she will run away with the race pretty easily. What are your thoughts? Should Vice President Harris run for governor? Let me know in the comments.
One of Kamala Harris' strongest points was her promise to fight against corporate greed. She openly spoke about the billionaires and business leaders who manipulate the system for their own benefits. Now, under Trump, these bad actors have even more power. Let's talk about Elon Musk. Kamala warned about the influence of big businesses on government policy. And what are we seeing now? Elon Musk has cozied up to Trump, gaining more influence over the economy and technology sector. Musk has been criticized for mistreating workers, fighting against labor unions, and using his wealth to shape the government policy in ways that benefit him personally. Yet, under Trump, he has only gained more power. Harris wanted to take on these powerful figures to create a fairer system. Instead, Trump has teamed up with them. And now, people are realizing that letting billionaires dictate economic policies is making their lives harder. What's truly interesting is the hypocrisy of those now calling for Kamala Harris to do something. Where were these people when she was running for office? They mocked her, they dismissed her ideas, and now they suddenly expect her to come and clean up the mess. It's funny how people only appreciate a leader when they start feeling the pain of bad policies. Kamala was very vocal about how she would fight for working class Americans. People laughed at her. But now, When things aren't going well, they want her back. This should be a lesson to everyone. Never underestimate someone's ability to lead just because of personal biases. Kamala Harris is not silent. She has responded to the situation by reminding people that they have power in their hands. She's made it clear that if people don't like what's happening, they have the opportunity to correct their mistakes in the next election. Instead of just complaining about how bad things have gotten, voters need to take responsibility for their choices. They let themselves be influenced by negative media portrayals and ignored important policy discussions. Now, they are feeling the consequences. Kamala is telling people that they still have the power to choose wisely next time. Don't vote based on emotions, personal dislikes, or internet memes. Vote for policies that will actually improve your life. This situation should teach everyone a few key lessons. Number one, always research policies before voting. Don't let social media or mainstream narratives decide for you. Number two, never underestimate a leader just because others mock them. Many great leaders have been doubted before proving themselves. Number three, corporate greed is a real issue. Kamala warned about it, and now people are seeing its effect. Number four, billionaires and big business should not control government policies. Trump's close ties to figures like Elon Musk have made things worse. Number five, people have the power to correct mistakes. The next election is a chance to vote wisely and choose policies that actually help the economy. The big question now is, will people actually learn from this? Kamala Harris is not a superhero. She can't just magically fix everything overnight, but she had a clear plan, and she was ready to fight for working class Americans. Instead, people chose Trump, and now they are feeling the consequences. If people want real change, they need to stop asking, "Where is Kamala?" and start asking themselves, "How can we make sure this doesn't happen again?" Change starts with people. The next election will be another test. Let's see if people vote based on facts or continue making emotional decisions that hurt them in the long run. Well, guys, that's it for today. What do you think about people now calling for Kamala Harris after rejecting her before? Do you think voters will make better choices next time? Let me know in the comments, and also remember to subscribe, like, and share as well. And until next time, bye-bye.